Now, we're going to start with, this is, of course, the last week has just seen the tech sector. We're all looking at what's going on with job losses there. In news this morning that Meta is looking at cutting jobs across its global workforce.
The new phrase is tech reset. Tech reset means recession in the tech industry, and it's going to be big and it's going to be bad. Meta have 87,000 employees worldwide. We don't know at this stage how many they're going to cut. The Wall Street Journal said that it was going to be extensive, and the word is that people working for the various outlets were told, stay home, don't do any unnecessary travel.
You're going to get that email.
So be home to receive it, to convenience us. And the word is that that's happening on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Stripe, the Irish-owned company, is also in the business of cutting its staff because, do you know what? Oh, they just overhired. Now, that's going to be... John Isle in The Independent has very interesting stuff on that this morning. And he says it's going to be an interesting proposition to see how many of their 300 Irish employees they can cut, because Ireland gave them 42 million on the promise that there would be 1,000 Irish jobs over the next 5 years, which I'm not very good at sums, but I figured that's 42,000 per job that the state gave them. So they might be a little bit slower to cut those jobs.
Here.
And they are saying, for what this is worth, their PR people would be helpful in this, they're saying that they're well placed to weather a downturn.
In their statement, when it came to Stripe, they did point to the fact that they've got, the revenues are huge and all that kind of stuff, which would have been hard for workers to see. They've said that they've overhired up to 1,000 people. The fact is, with all of these tech jobs, and there was a huge amount of hiring that went on. If you look at Ireland, people are going into tech, even if they're not doing anything in college to do with tech, because there's big salaries for starting graduate jobs, right? They're making billions. Like, it's not like they're not making lots of money, but for their shareholders,
it's not enough.
It's not enough. So let's get rid of some people so that we can keep profits high. That seems to be what's happening.
It very much, they're looking at the next quarter all the time, not as the old family firms have always done, look to the long term. But even your point about people going into tech and getting large sums of money. Not necessarily true of all of them. If you look at Meta, for example, in Ireland, they have something like 6,000 people. Interesting little phrase coming through in the reports, and it is this, of whom half are staff. Only half are staff. They have a system, many of these companies, where if I'm the big boy, I don't want to have any trouble with staff and benefits and health insurance and all that jazz. So I'll say to you, tell you what, you hire them and then lease them to me.
Okay.
And so you have quite a lot of people, half of the Meta people in Ireland would be on that one remove contract situation where A, they can be paid less, but B, they have much less security. So this is not going to be good, and it's going to cause a rethink in Ireland.
A worrying time for so many thousands of people over the next couple of days, really. And then with Twitter as well. It's just, it has been a bad week for the tech industry. It really has.